What's up everybody, I'm Kevin Hansen. You're watching the Lawn Care Juggernaut. In this video we are going to be returning to a job that we recently did where we trimmed the bushes and then trimmed a large crepe myrtle back. Well, in this video we're going to be kind of rehabilitating some Yaupon hollies. They're overgrown, so one of them's not in too bad a shape. I don't really focus on doing any video on that, but the other one is got this really funky top to it. Okay, it hasn't been trimmed well in several years, and now they want me to start rehabilitating it. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in and top the top couple feet, start making it look real good, and kind of go from there. As it starts growing back, we'll be able to give it a nice clean shape again, give it that lollipop look that people want with their Yaupon hollies. So these are a great decorative bush, and they used to be really common in landscaping, Yaupon hollies with holly bushes and boxwoods and nandinas. That's generally what you see a lot from like the 1950s and 60s era houses. And kind of going from there, let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to show you how to rehabilitate one. If you see it, you can top these. It'll be okay. They're going to come right back, and you're going to be able to reshape them over the next year or so. Alright, hey, if you're new to the channel, if you take a quick second to just give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and let us know you're new to the channel, that would be awesome. And if you've seen a few of our videos and you haven't subscribed yet, come on man, what are you waiting on? You know I've put out good content. Let's go ahead and get into this. As we're cutting this holly bush down here, you can see I'm just kind of topping it off with the pole saw, and I got on the roof. We've had a lot of rain this year for the spring. Not quite as much as last year. Last year was crazy, but generally I would do this with like a 10-foot ladder in front of it. But if you can get on the roof and that's easier, you can do that as well. Here's one thing that happens when you're in a small business. You get stuck on the phone a lot while you're working. So here I am in the middle of the job on a roof with the pole saw. I shut it down and I'm talking to a customer. I'm like, yeah. Okay, got the information, got what they needed, and then let them know I'm going to take care of them, and then I'll be there later in the week. You know, everybody's got concerns in the spring. They always want something extra done. So the thing is, if you can do those kind of things, you don't need to have a massive amount of clientele. You can actually do rehab work like this, mulch installation, coming in and cleaning up flower beds. You know, there's all sorts of things that you can do on a property. So you might not have a ton of properties, but one of the things you'll find is that if you just communicate with your client and say, hey, I can make your property look a little better here or there, they're probably going to be open to that. And you know, as long as you're fair on your pricing. You know, I mean, we charge a lot more than we used to, but still, to me, it's pretty fair pricing. We're not doing like amazing by any means. There are a lot of companies that are much bigger, doing a lot better, and at the same time, we're not struggling like we used to. And that's the major thing, is you want to get past that struggling point, get to where you have some extra money, get to where you can actually invest in the business and get a better truck or a better piece of equipment or a mower or this and that, whatever it is that you're looking for. Because you're probably in the state where you're like, man, I just want to get through that. It doesn't matter. Everybody falls in ruts. You might have a good year or a bad year. It might be in the beginning of your business. It might be 10 years in your business. Sometimes you just need to make more money, and you're maxed out on the amount of work you're doing, in which case you need to charge a little more and, you know, go for the easy sales. So a lot of times it seems like to me in business, you tend to try to focus on getting new clients. If I get more clients, get more clients, get more clients, that's going to be the solution. But in all honesty, if you try to retain your clients and then upsell your clients on the things that you can do, that's pretty good to do as well. Now, I still focus on lawn care. Like, we have days that are just dedicated towards lawn care. That's all we're doing. That's all I want to do. We're mowing. We're not doing anything on those days. So when I'm doing cleanup work, it's on a dedicated day. We're doing cleanups, we're doing mulch, we're doing bush trimmings, we're doing whatever, but we're not mowing. And on the mowing days, we're only mowing. So this tree right here is right by a gas meter, and then it's right by a center block wall. And so that's kind of causing a problem. As it gets bigger, it's going to cause damage to that wall, and it's going to cause damage to, well, it may not cause damage to the gas meter, but what's going to happen is it's going to get bigger, and it's going to cost a lot more money to cut it out. So right now is the best time to cut it out, okay? And I say it's the best time, but as far as the actual time, it's pretty windy. So I went ahead and went with a safe approach, and I just dropped it limb by limb in smaller sections. And that way I didn't take a risk of dropping it on the gas meter, because you have to understand that if you do something like that, you are liable. So if I decide to cut this lower and I accidentally knock down that cinder block wall, well, I'm liable to fix it. And same thing, if the gas meter happens, I'm probably going to get a bill from somebody if I break that gas meter. So just coming in here and we're knocking off little by little and just being safe about it. As safe as I can get, I guess. I don't do a lot of tree work. I used to do a lot of tree work, and what I've noticed is that when I did it a lot, I was pretty good at it. But the thing is, I never had proper training to do big tree work, so I shouldn't have been doing it to begin with. And you know, I'm not saying you can't go out there and you can't learn, but if you don't have the right equipment and you don't have the proper training, you don't have and you don't have the personnel to help you, you know, if you don't have employees there, it can be very dangerous. That may affect where you want to guide your business. For me, that kind of dictated where I wanted to be in my business, and I geared more towards lawn care. And it kind of steered me away from landscaping for a while too, because, you know, I dipped into landscaping for a little bit and I really enjoyed doing that. But without the personnel, you know, the employees, if you're trying to do all that yourself and then you're chasing more work and, you know, you're dealing with the stuff in the office, you're probably gonna have a difficult time with it. So if you do want to do things like tree work or landscaping and stuff like that, just know you're going to need employees and you need to start looking for them now. Now the same thing goes with mowing, because this is kind of a grow or die business, and the longer you're in the mowing industry, the more you start realizing that your body's going to start failing. Like, you just feel more sore than you did last year. Each year you can do a little more because of efficiency, and then at a certain point you can't do as much because your body's like, hey, it ain't working, okay? So, you know, I used to go out all day, sun up to sundown, and I loved it, and I really enjoyed doing the work. And I'm not saying I don't enjoy doing it now, but it's not as much of a passion as it used to be. I enjoy communicating with clients and offering a good service and just being a good business owner. But as far as actually being out there and physically just, I mean, the real physical cleanups, like, this stuff doesn't seem bad, but when you do it day to day, you can really tear up your body. And you know, so just keep in mind, if you're going to do it, try to gear your equipment to where it's not going to be as physically tasking on your body, and then start looking for those guys to come in and help you in your business. I've got a buddy, and I talked about him a decent amount in my channel. His name's Luke, and I'm going to get him on to do kind of an interview style video here in the next few weeks probably. But Luke hired 3 employees this year and took the leap, and he's out of his truck, and I think that's incredibly cool. It's a very awesome transition point in a business, and a lot of people don't make it to that point, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, so it's really cool to see him doing it. That's another thing, is as you're working, you know, it's easy to look at somebody else and kind of gear yourself to them, and it's good to have friends in the industry that you can, you know, okay, they're at this certain point, I'd like to be at that certain point. But also understand that you have certain things that are different about your business, or, you know, just your personal life or whatever, and understand that you have key points that you have to knock out before you can get to that point too. I think it's easy to get discouraged when you look at other companies, as well as motivated. So you can use it as motivation, and it can also discourage you, like, man, how are they there? I should already be there. I want to be there. There's no reason I shouldn't be. And I just think it's very important not to let yourself fall into that trap, and, you know, but also not fall into the trap of just grinding away. So it's important to keep grinding, going out and making money, and making it happen, and doing what you have to do, and be consistent and be out there every day. But also make sure that you are, you know, keeping an eye on the business. What's the business actually doing? Because you can go out and you can grind away sun up to sundown. I did it for years and not have any growth in your business. Like, I mean, at best I went up a little bit and kind of plateaued because I wasn't looking at the business right. I wasn't charging enough. I wasn't gearing my business for growth. I wasn't, you know, making changes that I knew needed to happen. You know, I was procrastinating on those key changes that I needed to make in my business, and I just wasn't being a good visionary for my company. So you can go out there and you can be an employee and you can do the work and go through the motions, but you also need to be the visionary for your company and start guiding it and make those goals and come up with what you need to do to progress your business. All of that is my point of view. We're wrapping up the video. We're coming to the end of it, and I just want to say thank you for making it to this point. Now for the phrase of the day, let's go ahead and do goals. I think it's very important to kind of look to see where your business is going and just look at the key performance indicators. Be aware of it, because I think it's all too easy to get caught up in just doing the work, and it's one of those things that we're kind of coming into the part of the year where it's exciting, we're going at it, and then you come into this start grinding and slowing down and feeling discouraged point of the year. And if you set some performance indicators that are realistic off of what you've done in the past and trying to grow that at least 15 to 20 or maybe 30%. All that said, if you want to subscribe to the channel, that's right here. And if you want to watch some more badass videos, man, that's right there, okay? So quit hesitating and, subscribe to the channel, become a Juggernaut, and I'll see you soon.